Well, that's how you find, well, that's how you use the remainder theorem. So instead of doing a whole long division that might take a long time, we have the remainder theorem. Let's do some past papers now, because it's better to get to do them all right now, so you don't have to rush them down because it's close to the exam. Everybody understands this? If you don't, let me know.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's one yes. Anybody does not understand? Going once, going twice. All right then. Let's do past paper questions. So the first one, paper 2, 2014, number 1, part B. Where's my thing? Let me do 2021 first. Doing 2021 first, and then we'll go to the 2014. So 2021 paper number 1A part 1. They gave you this function, f of x is equal to x cubed plus 7x squared minus 7x minus 3. And then they said it's divided by x minus 1. What do they want you to do? They want you to find the remainder. Okay, so just copy down this question for me and let me know when you're finished so I could go on the board and we could do it together.
I'm finished writing it out.
Finish right.
All right. So it's the same thing we're doing, right? Same steps we following. They gave us the function f of x is equal to a x cubed plus 7x squared minus 7x minus 3. And they want you to divide this by x minus 1. They want you to find the remainder. When I divide this function, so x cubed plus 7x squared minus 7x minus 3, when I do divide that by x minus 1, what is my remainder? That's the question, right? So like I said, the remainder theorem, instead of doing that whole long revision thing, wasting time, I mean, sometimes it's necessary, right? You know, learn about that when we do it after theorem. But for right now, doing that whole process, that whole long division process, that's going to take us some time. That's why we have the remainder theorem. According to my theorem, let's see steps using the remainder theorem. So the first thing you want to do, put this divisor equal to 0 and find your value of x. So x minus 1 is my divisor. I'm going to put it equal to 0. So for the value of x is 1. Cool. Step 1, finished. What's step 2? Step 2 says, using this value that I got, so x is 1, what I'm going to do, substitute that value into my function. What do I mean by substitute? Since x is 1, f of 1 would be, okay, let me write that down. What do I mean by substitute the value? Wherever I see x in this function here, Instead of putting x, I'm going to put 1. Why am I putting 1? Because 1 is the value of x. That's the value we just got, right? So step number 2. Wherever I see x in this function, I'm going to replace it with 1. So since my value of x is 1, instead of putting f of x, I could put f of 1. Why am I putting 1? Because I said x, the value of x is 1. So I put in f of x, I could put f of 1. 1 is the value of x, okay? And I said, wherever I see x in this polynomial expression, I'm going to replace it with 1. What does that give me? A 1 cubed plus 7 1 squared minus 7 times 1 minus 3. But of course, we don't just leave it like that. Why? Because we can simplify even further. 1 cubed is 1, so 1 times a is a. 1 squared is 1, 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 7 is 7, so that's minus 7. And then we have the minus 3. Plus 7 minus 7, that's going to give me 0, right? So what my remainder is equal to, if these cancel, a minus 3. That is my remainder for this question. Everybody good?
Yes, miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, miss.
Unlike the other questions where we got a real number, this one has a in it, and you'll know why it has a in it when we do the other part of the question, but not yet. We ain't ready for the other part of the question yet. So that's your remainder for this question. The first part, they ask you for the remainder is a minus 3. That was 2 marks. So imagine you're doing that whole long division thing for you to get 2 marks. It just doesn't make sense. See down here, afterwards they wanted you to find the value of a. That's why your remainder had a, right? But we're not there yet. Not this paper, this paper. You do in part B for me. 1 part B, this one. Okay. I would give you, hello. I'll give you, 3 minutes to do this. I'll check up on you in 3 minutes and then see where we're going from there. This is 2014, by the way. Well, because I don't have like a exam paper in front of me. Okay, sorry. Because I don't have like an exam paper in front of me with the question written out. You know, if you were doing a test and you have a question paper and you have to write on like a folder page or something, the first thing you would do, write out all the information they gave you. They gave you this polynomial expression, 2x cubed plus ax squared minus 5x minus 2. They told you that it's divided by 2x minus 1. And they also told you that the remainder, when I do this, when I divide this polynomial expression by 2x minus 1, they told me that the remainder is minus 3.5. What do they want me to do? They want me to find the value of a. But how do we do that? Well, we use the remainder theorem. Remember the first step, put the divisor equal to 0 and solve for the value of x. So 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to a half. That's my first step when doing the remainder theorem. Next step, this value of x that you got. So I have that x is a half. What you're going to do, substitute it into your polynomial expression. What do I mean by substituting the value? Well, wherever you see x in this polynomial expression,
You put half.
exactly, put a half. I just erasing this, right? So let me just say this polynomial expression here, I'm going to let this equal to p of x. Just to name it, right? So I'll say this is the function p of x. You want me to? We continue in the remainder theorem. So we said x is a half. What does that mean? Wherever I see x, I'm going to replace it with a half. So that's 2 half cubed plus a half squared minus 5 times a half, and this is minus 2. So anybody got an answer for this when they substitute a half? Anybody? Okay, well, a half cubed, that's 1 on 8. So 2 times 1 on 8, that's a quarter. This is e by a quarter, 60 e on 4, whatever. That's minus 5 on 2. So that's minus a half. A quarter. Oof. Quarter minus a half. Anybody finish this question? Just asking. Yes, no.
I was at the
No, I'm not finished.
Close to finish. Close to finishing.
I did the part where like I punched it in my calculator and then I got like a number.
Wait, you punch this into your calculator, this yellow part.
Yes, yeah, something like that.
And what number you got? What number did you get?
Minus 3.65 something.
Oh, okay. Well, something happened there. You know, ooh, something happened there for real. You know where you went wrong though?
No, because I had like the part in yellow, so I'm not sure.
Wait, hold on. Why do I have? It wasn't odd. It was minus. That's minus 9 on 2. Okay. Okay. You put this whole thing into a calculator.
No, I did it like piece by piece. So I did like the 2.5 cube, and then I wrote down that answer, and then I did the other part like that.
Okay, what answer did you get for this? When you put that
I got the 0.625.
0.625. Hold on. Okay. 0.625. When you put this in,
Yes, I'm going to do it again.
okay. Everybody else good?
Oh, 0.25.
Yeah, which is also good. Okay. Everybody else okay?
Yes, please.
Okay then. So I have that this right here is my remainder. A on 4 minus 17 on 4. That's my remainder. So just erasing this, right? I'll claim the whole thing. Okay. So when I did that whole thing, right, I got the remainder. So I said I was going to name this P, right? And I said that P of a half, the remainder that I got is A on 4 minus 17 on 4. However, they want me to find the value of A. But how exactly am I going to find the value of A with just this? Well, that's why they also gave us, well, told us that the remainder is minus 3.5. What does that mean? P of a half, the remainder is minus 3.5. And we just found out that is A on 4 minus 17 on 4. So if I know that A on 4 minus 17 on 4 is equal to minus 3.5, I could just transpose, which means to make something accepting of the formula, transpose to find the value of A. Agreed? Yes or no?
Miss OSM, miss? Repeat one more time.
I know this is what we just found out, right? Just found out that
Yes, please.
we just found out that the remainder is A on 4 minus 17 on 4. And the question told us that the value for the remainder is minus 3.5. What does that mean? Minus 3.5 is equal to A on 4 minus 17 on 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. But that's not what they asked me. They asked me to find the value of A. Look in here, I could transpose, which means to make something the subject of the formula. I can make A the subject of the formula to find the value of A. Because that is what they want me to do, find the value of A. So if 1.35 is equal to A on 4 minus 17 on 4, how can I make A the subject of the formula? That's what you should ask yourself. Well, I could say, okay, I can multiply this entire thing by 4. Why? To get rid of these denominators. So minus 3.5 by 4, that's minus 14. And this will give me A, and this will give me minus 17. Remember, we're trying to find A. So what does that mean? Value of A is 3. You good? Everybody?
Wait,
Yes,
how you get 3? How A equal to 3?
Okay, so this is the equation I have now, right? Minus 14 is equal to A minus 17. You know how I got that?
Oh, I got it. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, wow. That's
I wasn't paying attention on the
Everybody else good? Any other questions? Yes, no?
I am good.
Okay. Well, since we don't have any questions, let's move on. Gauss-Remainder theorem. Factor theorem. What is factor theorem? Well, it says if I'm given that I can't read now. If I'm given that x minus a is a factor of f of x, so you see my divisor, if the divisor is a factor of the function, then the remainder is 0. So this whole thing, with all the symbols and all that, this whole rule in English just means if my divisor is a factor, so if they told me that the divisor is a factor, that means that the remainder is equal to 0. Or you might hear no remainder. Same thing, right? No remainder or the remainder is equal to 0. So let's practice some questions. Let's just go straight to the past paper for this one. Number 1, B. Oh gosh, why are these questions only to find the value of B? Okay, let's do this one first. 2013, paper 2, question 1, part A, part 1. That's what we're doing. So just copy down the question real quick. I will do it with you. And, okay. Let me just show you something real quick. You see show, this word show, it's a minor thing, right? This doesn't really have anything to do with the topic. This is for any question where you see the word show. They said use the factor theorem to show that x plus 4 is a factor. Because they said show, that means that x plus 4 will be a factor, right? They know for a fact that x plus 4 is a factor, and they want you to show them that is a factor. What does that mean? Why am I telling you this? Well, if you did that whole process just now, the whole factor theorem thing, but you did not get your remainder to be 0, something is wrong. Why? Because they told you to show. Because they said show, they know for a fact that it is a factor, and they want you to show them that it is a factor. So if you got a remainder that is not 0, you did something wrong, you need to check it over. That's different from if they said determine if x plus 4 is a factor. So that means there is a possibility of it being a factor, but there's also a possibility of it not being a factor. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Doesn't really have anything to do with the topic, just anytime you see that word show and the word determine if. Show means for a fact that it is a factor. Determine if, well, it could be a factor or there's a possibility of it not being a factor. Everybody good with that? Yes, no?
Yes, Luis.
Okay. So if you did not get a remainder, if you got a remainder that's not equal to 0, you knew that you did something wrong, you need to check it over. Okay, because they said show. So they know for a fact that the answer is that x plus 4 is a factor. Okay, well, you don't need to rejoin because, it's 7, well, 6 for some people already. So when this ends,